Hi everyone, I'm Ben Myers and welcome to Beer with Ben, episode lucky number 7. We're traveling our country in search of the most unique and tasty beers our nation has to offer. Today we're flouting the law at a place serious about beer. Welcome to Scofflaw Brewing. Located in Atlanta, Scofflaw began their journey in 2015 in one of the founders' mother-in-law's basement, and it bears the name of their flagship beer, Basement IPA. Now, in an 18,000 square foot brewery with over 13,000 barrels of production, Scofflaw has become a renowned favorite in the Southeast. Let's go find some tasty beer. Hey guys, we're outside on the patio here at Scofflaw. I'm with JP Watts, COO, one of the founders at Scofflaw. First off, thanks for having us and welcome to the show, man.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming out.
All right. I kind of want to get into a little bit of the background of how you guys started.
So, myself and Matt Shire, we grew up together, and Matt was working in the hustle bustle of Wall Street. And had kids later in life, and got tired of doing it, so we decided to go into business together and end up opening up some craft beer bars.
Okay.
Did that for about 4 years, and then kind of Matt decided that he wanted to sell his own beer instead of everybody else's.
So from what I read was the brewery started in Matt's mother-in-law's basement?
It did, yes. We had, so Matt's mother-in-law lives next door to him. She's got a ranch house, so, the downstairs is like just as big as upstairs. So it's 2,500 square foot, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So she wasn't really using it. So, went in there, cleaned it up, sealed the floors, and set up shop down there while we were building out our brewery to develop recipes and stuff. So it's actually where we made the Basement IPA. So we called it.
There it is.
I always tell the story. Matt's mother-in-law's name's Jenny. So she's like, oh, you should name that beer Jenny's Basement since she made it in my basement. We were like, well, we'll just name it Basement and then tell the story.
And then tell the story. Well, I love it. No, I mean,
yeah.
Flagship beer, being in Atlanta, we know I'm an Atlanta-based person. You can find this pretty much about everywhere, as far as I'm concerned, on draft. Tell me, then the next question would be like a little bit about the name, because Scofflaw, right?
So,
everyone's like, what is it? And then, of course, no one can pronounce it, right?
It's the weird. Honestly, at first I was like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, it's phonetic, like it's Scofflaw.
Yeah.
But I think even the first time I saw it, I probably mispronounced it too. You try to fancy it up, but we're not fancy people, so it's just Scofflaw.
Scofflaw.
So at the time we were opening up, it's like 5,000 breweries in the country. Every time you pick a name, it was taken. So Travis, or one of our founders and brewmaster, was watching PBS one night, and there was a special about Prohibition. And he texted me and Matt, hey, check out this name. And it was a Boston newspaper had a contest to see what are we going to call people who drink illegally, right? Bootleggers make liquor. What do we call people who drink illegally? And the winner was Scofflaw. They scoff at the law. Prohibition was repealed, and so they still use the word as people who continuously break laws that are hard to enforce. So we kind of look at it as people who kind of do what they want to do.
That's right, and that kind of plays into the beers you make. I feel
it does, and so it was weird. It was almost like fate kind of sounds corny, but it's like this is a perfect name. Like, let's go with it.
And then you just celebrated
our 3-year anniversary was last Saturday.
Saturday, I missed it.
Yeah, it was intense. It's fun. The fun happens more for us afterwards, right? We get to
exactly.
Celebrate. Yeah.
Once the public leaves, they get to really celebrate. Right?
That's it. Yeah.
Well, speaking of celebrating,
yeah, man.
Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Let's do another cheers.
Yeah.
JP Watts. We're still out on the patio, but we had one last person to talk to, Chris Brown, the CMO, the marketing guru here at Scofflaw. So one thing you were going to get into with us was a little bit about the background of how you kind of found the different pieces of the puzzle, of how you found the different people that eventually became Scofflaw. Tell us a little about that.
So previously I worked at the distributor who we now sell to, and I had the opportunity that I'd heard that a new brewery was kind of opening up down here on the west side, and so I sought these guys out, and it was kind of like a love at first sip situation, right? Like the stuff that they were making in the basement at the time, I literally, it was almost like I ran back to my boss at the time and I was like, look, so this is it, this is the one, this is the one that we've been waiting for, because my job at the time was to try to find, good breweries, great breweries, and we had a lot of good, but there wasn't as many great, and I knew this was going to be like the first one, and I was adamant that this would be the one that everyone was kind of looking for, just because the quality of it was so amazing for not even being on a full brew system. The flavor was like nothing that I had had before and stuff too. And outside of another certain brewery that was up in Athens having some success, I was like, hey, this is the one that we were looking for.
Yeah. But so, as far as future plans or future events or anything, is there anything that you want to talk about or let everyone know that's coming up here at Scofflaw?
It's funny. There's always something. We're actively looking.
Currently,
we're just here. We're just here in Georgia.
Okay.
We went over in Alabama. It's our distributor, sister distributor. So we're looking to the north in Tennessee. We're looking over here. So I think the days of the national brewery are over.
It's more regional.
It is. If you can become a really good, strong regional, I think that's about as really anybody's far as goal as you can have nowadays. And we're going to get there eventually. We're just taking it slow and trying to make the right decisions. And for those that are always emailing from Tennessee or Florida or whatever, we're working on it.
Yeah. Give us a second.
Right. It takes a minute.
For God's sake, give me a second.
Yeah.
But Chris Brown, CMO, marketing guru here at Scofflaw, thank you for joining us. A little Scofflaw cheers.
Ooh, I want to try this one.
Oh, that's right. A little specialty beer with Nappy Roots collaboration.
That is a breakfast beer.
Chris Brown, CMO, thank you for joining us. We're going to go inside and meet with brewmaster Travis and try some beers next here on Beer with Ben. We're inside the tasting room here at Scofflaw with the man himself, one of the founders, brewmaster Travis Herman. Welcome to the show.
Howdy, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us here.
Absolutely.
And welcome to the show. We're going to kind of go through some beers here in a second, but first I want to get to know the man who makes all this beautiful beer. Travis, tell us a little bit about how you got into brewing and a little bit about your background.
Right on. Well, so I started with really no clue of beer. I graduated from Oklahoma State with my undergrad degree in microbiology. And at the time in the 90s, Oklahoma was not a craft beer state. They had a 3.2% limit. Moved out to California and was just blown away by the beer selection that was at your local grocery store, something I'd never seen before. Anyways, started just kind of running the gauntlet of having more beers, and then started touring breweries and looking at what was happening. At the same time, I was working for Novartis doing, we worked in a lab that did genetically modified brewing yeast.
So this weird way of learning about fermentation and using it in a kind of off-center way ended up guiding you without knowing it towards where you are today.
Absolutely.
So as far as Scofflaw, what drew you in to join this project or to become obviously the integral part of making the beer who they are? How did that start?
Again, like I said, I think everybody who gets into the brewing game wants to do their own thing, and as honored as I was to be able to make some of the best, or work at some of the best breweries in the United States,
Sure.
most renowned breweries, you always got your own ideas of hey man, like I think what do you guys think if we put Citra in Pliny or something? And Benny's obviously never going to do that, or not even interested in hearing what you.
Yeah.
And that's 100%. Just like if one of my guys said, "Hey, what if we put this in basement?" Like, absolutely not. Like, basement's basement.
This is my baby. Like, do not touch my baby.
So exactly.
So
I think it's the natural progression of anybody who's a really motivated brewer is that they're going to want to do their own thing. They're going to want to present their own, their own recipes and make their own path. And so that was kind of Scofflaw, yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being born in Scofflaw, let's go into the little tasting with you. We're going to start off with the Juicy Joe
All right.
IPA.
So Juicy Joe is one of our newest beers. Cheers.
Blink.
Juicy Joe's named for basically employee number one, Joe McIntyre.
Oh, I love it.
He started with us in the basement. He was,
That is juicy.
very, very integral in everything that Scofflaw is. But he really likes the hazy, juicy IPAs. That's kind of his style. He's always been, Hooligan was modeled after that, and this is another of the creations from Joe.
So this reminds me of like if a beer and an orange juice had a baby with an IPA, this is it. It's delicious. Awesome. Let's go to the next one here.
Yeah.
We got the barrel-aged maple vanilla, and this is the base beer for this was the 2017 Absentium.
Fact. So Absentium is another of the beers that we coined out or hashed out in the basement. I had some errands to run as I was brewing a stout one day.
Yeah.
And we left for a little too long, and the batch reduced itself by almost 50%. So we ended up
happy
with
mistake, right?
30. Yes, absolutely. We contacted our barrel broker and said, we're looking for unique flavors. And they said, hey, we have a bourbon barrel that was first use as a bourbon barrel, second use as a maple syrup barrel, and then you could be a third use as a beer. And then the same thing with the vanilla. So this beer spent 6 months in a vanilla, second use vanilla barrel, third use beer barrel. And then that beer was transferred to a second bourbon barrel that had held syrup, maple syrup, for an additional year.
Wow.
And Madagascar vanilla beans were added to that barrel to really intensify the vanilla.
So the labor, and I think we should just get to it here.
Let's do it.
Like, I can't wait any longer.
I think right when we started talking about it, I was chomping at the bit to get a sip of
Like,
it.
you get some alcohol, but the flavor alone is like, this is worth the year plus of labor and love right here. Like, it's like breakfast cereal mixed with, oh my God, the vanilla and the maple, like a lot of beautiful, and then a beautiful stout, and then it's aged. Wow, I'm a little excited. All right, we're gonna go on to the last one, and this is their hog basement. So their basement is their flagship. This is kind of a variation, the passion orange guava.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, exactly right, Ben. In Hawaii, passion fruit orange guava is a kind of a staple juice. If you just order hog and you get a juice, much like ordering an orange juice.
Yeah.
I thought that would be a really nice complementary flavor to the beer. So brought that back and added to some basement. So this is the basement recipe with orange juice, passion fruit, and guava.
Without further ado. And it's like, bam, and some of it's very straightforward and fruit forward, and then you get the subtle of all the other flavors. So it truly is like a tropical fruit invasion into an IPA. Absolutely delicious.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us today. You led us through some amazing beers, and this is just a sample, guys. So I mean, we'll show you some B-roll of the draft board. Like, there's so many good beers here. Like, we only had to choose 4 because we don't have enough time. But Travis, wow, it's been really an honor and a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for taking the time and joining us here on Beer with Ben.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ben.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey guys, we're still out on the patio and still hanging out with summer, and it feels like it's still summer out here too. Sorry.
It does. It's so terrible.
But we're doing a new game called Hop On It. It's a quiz show where you have to name 5 things in 10 seconds. So what happens is we're each going to have a turn, and I'll tell you to name a certain 5 things. You have 10 seconds to name them, and whoever has the most points between 2 rounds wins a prize.
All right.
Ooh. So you will go first, and I will keep track, I promise, in my head. So it'll be fair. It'll be fair.
Okay.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. And the timer starts once the question's fully said, right? Okay. So, with 10 seconds, name 5 Scofflaw beers in 10 seconds. Go.
Dirty Beaches, Pog, Double Pog, Basement, Double Basement.
Wow, that was literally 4 seconds. I think wow, that was too easy. All right, well, I guess it's my turn now, so whatever you've come up with, it's your turn.
All right, your 5 favorite places to get tacos.
And it could be anywhere.
Anywhere in the world.
Okay, here we go. And go. Taco Velaz. Oh God, I'm totally blanking on this one. Oh, that's Nuevo Laredo is down the street. We also have Taco Bell. We also have Del Taco. Oh God, I'm really screwing the pooch on this one. And we got, oh God, what's the name of the place in La Paria?
Bam!
I think that was over 10 seconds.
I don't know. You may have got like
Okay.
9.
All right. We'll say 9. 9 if you're in the slow universe.
Right.
All right. Next one. Name 5 and 10. Here it is. Name 5 four-legged animals besides a goat in 10 seconds. Go.
A dog, a cat, a hedgehog, a bunny, and a bull.
That's 5, and I'm gonna call it 7 seconds.
Damn.
Okay, so all right, we're evened up here. Final death. I have to get this right. 10 seconds. Your turn. Here we go. Tell me.
All right, your favorite shoe brands.
Shoe brands. All right, go. Sperry's. Oh my God. Cole Haan's. Nike's. I'm gonna say this and it's not true. Reebok. And Tevas.
Bam.
Did I get it in time? Actually, we're gonna go to the timer. He says, no, I didn't.
Aw.
You win.
Woo!
Oh my God. So as the inaugural winner of Hop On It, guess 5 and 10, you get a Beer with Ben sticker.
Yes!
Congratulations,
I
Summer.
love this. Thank you.
Yes. Well, hey, let's cheers it up for our first winner of 5 and 10 on Hop On It here on Beer with Ben. That wraps up our trip here to Scofflaw Brewing in Atlanta, Georgia. Follow us as we continue our journey across the nation in search of the most unique and tasty beers here on Beer with Ben.